Hello everyone, this is Blake. I'm coming to you from my living room to talk to you about Buccaneers football, nonetheless. It is football time again. The preseason is upon us. The lockout is behind us. Good news. Just in case you weren't aware, you're no longer under a lockout. It was after week 1 of the preseason. All the first preseason games have been played, so now we got our preseason football jitters out of our systems. Now it's time for a regular season football. And I was so excited once the lockout ended. I was so ready for preseason to start. Now week 1, after the preseason's over, now I'm ready for September 11th against Detroit. Kind of over the preseason hype. We got a good team this year. Our team's looking good. We have some of the same people. Freeman at quarterback, obviously. The franchise right there. LeGarrette Blount at running back. Kellen Winslow, Mike Williams, Aurelius Ben on offense. And then defense, we got guys like Rondé, Aqib Talib, Sean Jones, Quincy Black, Geno Hayes, Gerald McCoy, those people who we've already seen. Now, interestingly enough, I'm looking to see how the youth is going to be on our team this year, because our team has actually gotten younger. We were the youngest roster in the NFL last year, and I think we still hold that title because we got even younger with the addition to our D-line with guys like Daquan Bowers of Clemson. We took him with the 51st pick. We took Adrian Claiborne before him with the 20th pick, I believe, out of Iowa. And we stole Bowers, who was believed to be a top 5 pick on some people's boards until that knee injury, whatever it was, really dropped him on people's boards, and we ended up stealing both. 2 for the price of 1, that kind of deal. So we got good luck on that. We took them, so hoping to see them blow up. They've been doing good in training camp from what I understand, but then again, that's just practice. If you don't believe me, that's just practice. Go talk to Allen Iverson. He'll tell you all about that. All jokes aside, I think our team looks very good this year. As far as youth goes, inexperience could be a very big part of our team. Unfortunately, there's always a learning curve from college to the pros, but it tends to happen. We have a tough schedule this year. We played the NFC North and the AFC South. The tough comes more so from the AFC South rather than the NFC North. We played Detroit week 1, as I mentioned earlier in the video. That's a tough game. They beat us last year. We thought it was funny. We'd go into them, and we just didn't seem to play our best football. They beat us. And I believe we lost him at home too, which is kind of embarrassing in my opinion. Nonetheless, a loss is a loss, and we're looking for revenge starting week 1. We also get, as I mentioned, we get the AFC South. So we get Jacksonville, Houston, and Indy. Indy we play week 4 on Monday Night Football. Looking forward to that game. It's a very big test early in the season. And it's on Monday Night Football. So it's always fun to watch Monday Night Football. Peyton Manning, speaking of the Colts, as long as they have number 18 under center, they're always a threat. So that's the way I look at that. They got a good coach, Jim Caldwell. He was under Tony Dungy for a while, so apple doesn't fall far from the tree there. I'm looking forward to that game. Also looking forward to the game against Jacksonville and Houston. Houston first. We played them week 10 at home at the Ray J. I'm looking forward to that game as well because they will present a challenge to us. Andre Johnson going against our secondary will be nice to see. Not really so much nice for us, but nice for them. Rondé Barber, see how Aqib Talib matches up against him. And sorry for the disturbance. There seems to be Sorry about that. Thought there's something hitting my window. But yes, Andre Johnson We'd like to see that. Going to get to keep Talib. Interesting matchup to watch there. Speaking of Talib, he doesn't look like he'll face any suspension from the league. Knock on wood there. At least not yet. Because of the fact that they like to let due process in the legal system come down first before they come down on players. So if that holds true to form, Talib will be good to play this season because his trial for aggravated assault isn't until March. So it's after the season. It holds good for us. Anyways, so then we get Jacksonville, week 14, Everbank Field. They're a tough team. They got Garrard at starting quarterback. A lot of people are just clamoring for Blaine Gabbert. However, I think that Garrard has a lot to provide knowledge-wise to the young quarterback. And I'm looking forward to seeing how Blaine Gabbert will learn under Garrard's tutelage. Kind of sit back and watch for a little while. I do expect to see Gabbert in there at some point this season, though. The Titans, Tennessee. We get Tennessee. Well, they're Tennessee. There's nothing special in my book. They got Chris Johnson. If he ends his holdout. Jake Locker looked good against Minnesota in his first preseason game, but I think we should easily pick up a W there. Then we get the NFC North with Green Bay, Chicago, Detroit, and we get them. So Green Bay's always a tough game. We get to play them at Lambeau, and that'll be nice and that'll be fun to play them at Lambeau because we always play well there. Not really, just kidding about that. That takes us back to our NFC Central days. So no, I'm not looking forward to that one. But we gotta do. So we get those teams, which is always nice to play. Detroit, like I said, not a pushover whatsoever this year. I'm not looking forward to playing them either. Tough team. They're building. They're up and coming. Chicago, get them in London. Hopefully we don't embarrass ourselves in London like we did last time against New England. But then again, you start off the season 0-7. You kind of see that coming before it even happens. It's the best team in the NFL at that time. We were one of the worst teams in the NFL. So that's how that works. And then we get Minnesota. We have to go play them at the Metrodome. Mall of America Field now. They're Minnesota. I think we can beat them. Then on top of them, we get our two other games. We get to go travel out to San Francisco again this year. And Dallas comes to us for a Saturday night game, I want to say, on NFL Network. Or Thursday night game. Thursday or Saturday night game. On NFL Network. They always play us tough, and they always manage to beat us. So, all the drama in Big D, I still think that's a very tough game for us. We have a tough schedule this year. We didn't play an easy one last year, though. We had games like Baltimore. We almost beat Baltimore. We were riddled with injuries last year. McCoy, Talib, Cody Grimm, players like that. Hopefully they can stay healthy this year. And I guarantee you, if we hadn't lost some of those players last year, we would have made the playoffs. But we didn't. We didn't do it with what we had. And unfortunately, it cost us. So this is a new year. It's a new time. And we're going to keep our players healthy this year. We got a lot of young players, as I mentioned earlier. League's youngest roster. Mason Foster at the middle linebacker position specifically. Filling in for Barrett Ruud, who went to Tennessee. That's going to be a interesting one right there. He looks really good in training camp. And then again, like I said, that's practice. We don't really know. He played good against Kansas City. In the preseason game, we beat them 25-0. Then again, our entire team looked good against Kansas City. And could have easily had more points in that game. Seemed like we were winding down the clock, which is good sportsmanship. I'd rather us do that than pull a Bill Belichick and keep going. So that's how that works. We got a lot of young guys on our team. Hoping our defense can step up, play Tampa Bay Buccaneers football this year, and really drive it home. And Raheem Morris is calling the defensive plays, I believe. So hopefully that works for us. Raheem Morris, hope he brings in keeps the energetic flow going in the locker room, and just keeps the liveliness in there. We got some good other additions on the offensive side. Like I didn't mention Luke Stalker, tight end out of Tennessee. He should be a good addition to our offense with Kellen Winslow K2, because of the fact that we now have the 1-2 punch with the tight ends, and he's more of a blocky tight end. Kellen Winslow blocks about as good as a wet noodle sometimes. So we'll have to see. But Garrett Blount, hoping he really breaks out. He had around 1,000 yards last year. He didn't start all 16 games, so we'll see. He made some very agile moves last year, most notably against Carolina and Arizona, where he hurdled over defenders, and those led to 48-yard rushes. So when he does get into the open field, he does have speed. He makes moves like a ballerina, which he's 230, 250 pounds, so that is something else in and of itself. I'm looking forward to this year. I really think we can make the playoffs. My prediction, 10 to 12 wins. No, it sounds bold, specifically the 12 part. We won 10 games last year. Wasn't good enough to get into the playoffs last year. So my thing is, if we didn't make it in with 10, got to win more. We didn't win enough. We lost games at home to Atlanta and New Orleans. It's really cost us. However, we did manage to beat New Orleans. Atlanta swept us last year, unfortunately, in 2 very close games. Looking for revenge there. We swept Carolina, looking to do more of the same. We got a very tough schedule. We lost close games to Baltimore last year. So we don't play them this year. And we got completely hammered by Pittsburgh last year. But looking forward to seeing some improvement this year and trying to get out there and win 10 to 12 games, make the playoffs. I'm not going to say we're a Super Bowl contender. Let's just stick with trying to make the postseason first, and then see how it goes, make some noise in the postseason. As of right now, that's really all we need to do. Freeman played good last year, 25 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, more of that. Mike Williams, almost 1,000 yards last year, so for more of that. K2, just the usual suspects. That'll be all. I'm hoping Tampa Bay's got a good season this year. They look promising. We're going into week 2 of the preseason against New England, so we'll have to see how we play against New England. Granted, it is preseason, the gold standard of football. They play them this Thursday, so we'll have to see how that goes. And then once the real football starts, September 11th, we'll really know after that first 3 weeks, because we play Detroit, then we play Atlanta week 3, and then Indy week 4. So the first 4 weeks of the season are really going to show us what we're made of. Looking forward to that. Anyways, this is Blake giving you a Buccaneers preview. Thanks for tuning in.